Hello there, my squeaky geckies, Loki the Gecko here, and today I'm going to be showing you two battles from the online game Pokemon Showdown. Now, these two battles have a little bit in common, where, my team here is nearly identical in both battles. However, I lose this one, but I come out victorious in this one. Now, that kind of sounds a little strange, because really give up his toxic as soon as he saw the lumber, he canceled it out. And as we see here with the Weavile, the classic combination of using Fake Out and then trying to use a bunch of flinch moves. Thankfully, it takes a little more than that to put down Goji here. Well, it has this thing kill it, at least. However, now we'll see the main deciding factor. You guys see where this is going. So essentially what happens is that the Chansey here keeps using Protect and all that fun stuff, then Seismic Toss and Soft Foil to kind of keep everything in perpetual loop where it doesn't really take any damage. And then, we'll use Toxic to make my guys die. And as we see here, that kind of works. So I'll let this be a lesson to you guys that you should always have a good amount of both physical and special attackers, because stuff like that will stop your team if you rely too much on one type of attack. So yeah, we know how this is going. But yeah, switch into the Garchomp and then it starts wreaking with thinking superior here, I was smarter to send it out earlier, so that way it could gain more attack boosts with Contrary and Leaf Storm. And if you're wondering, I'm using the wide lens on my superior here to make sure Leaf Storm will always hit. So yeah, you see how this is going, just hides behind Protect and everything, so that's why I made sure to use Glare to paralyze the Chansey and stop it in its tracks. But as we see here, Ferrothorn protects itself and it's too late for little Tricky here. And now it gets switched out to Flame. So thankfully Ferrothorn wasted its Protect on Tricky. So now Flame is out and he's able to roast it a bit. However, now we get to see what I was referring to with the teams being a little similar. And by that I mainly mean like the flying Mega Evolution type of deal and having the Chansey, which, well, as you saw, I was able to get rid of easier with the change in my tactics, which as we saw was having Tricky come out sooner. But as we also see here, with my Greninja, I switched out to using a Protean build instead with the Wise Lens. And that, well, the Wise Lens are like a weaker version of the Choice Specs. So this item allows you to just have a slight boost to your special attacks. So as we see here, thanks to Protean, is already going to be the same type attack bonus boost to all the, attacks and whatnot. So so as you see here, it's all about when you throw out your guys, and not only that, making sure you had the right setup. So here's going to be a quick breakdown of the team and its strengths. So here's the thing, I don't really use this team all too often on Showdown, but the lesson to be learned from the two battles is important, and that's what I want you guys to make sure of. That just because one battle makes it seem like one Pokemon's unbeatable doesn't mean that if you try fighting it a different way, things won't go differently. But for the most part, here's the overall team. So with my Charizard here, I'm going for a Mega Y build, so that way I won't really need to set up as much, because with X you always gotta set up with Dragon Dance first, so I kinda will sometimes prefer this one over X. So as you see, its moves are not really anything special, the Air Slash to make good use of its, speed and high special attack, because look at those stats. So yeah, pair that with the Grout it gets from the becoming Mega Y. Not only do you get the same type attack boost, which is when you use a Pokemon whose type matches up with the type of the attack it uses, it'll get a boost. And the Sunlight will boost Fire as well, so that's basically like 3 boosts. Well, not exactly, but you get the point. But anyways, yeah, you get the whole gist of my Charizard here. Just throw it out, Mega Evolve, and just spam Flamethrower away. Now then, for my Garchomp, yeah, I know the name's pretty funny for you Undertale fans out there. I know you'll know that. I'm going for the Yacha Berry because I honestly was expecting a lot more Ice types. But since I'm not fighting, since I don't really see that many, I might suggest that you guys will switch it out for like the, personally, kind of whatever you want. Garchomp is a very flexible Pokemon. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen plenty of videos talking about how flexible Garchomp here is. But for the most part, I'm kind of just running a basic sweeper build, Sword Dance, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Outrage, blah blah blah. Anyways, let's look at another funny name guy. Yeah, you can see why, it's because he's orange and the big wall. It's not really all that clever, but at least it's kind of funny. But yeah, you can see the build and how it's not really gonna be anything special compared to most other Terraform builds. So if anything, I would suggest changing out Curse and Gyro Ball for like Leech Seed and Protect for you guys. So that way, you know, you get to use protect yourself from some status and attacking moves. And then, well, Leech Seed to be an annoying dirtbag. But yes, here, the other funny name, the funny haha name. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing as Charizard. Throw it out, attack a bunch, and then it just builds up. Similar but different. By that I mean, instead of throwing it out and just having it already set up the boost, this one you gotta keep just slamming Leaf Storm into the enemy, is what I'm referring to. And this one, yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm using the remember the name of every single one, but for the most part I want you to keep some of my suggestions in mind. That don't really go one-to-one copying me, try and do your own thing, but keep the lessons taught from the two battles in mind, okay? So I'll see you guys later. If you like this video, you know the whole deal, thumbs up, share with others for ideas, you know, because that's the main thing with this. I'm not going to give you good breakdowns of like guys as a whole. I'm just going to tell you, hey, your team could use a guy who does this speciality and then this, and remember, always have types that can play off each other, which is why this team kind of stinks completely. Not many guys play off each other, they're all basically just sweepers and with like one wall. So I want you guys to take the lessons for this, that even a bad team that's half-bakedly put together can still do pretty dang good.